Hi, hi, Yahweh Scano. My name is Claudia Jimerson. I am from the Cattaraugus Indian Territory in Irving, New York. I am part of the Leadership Circle of Excellence. Well, I saw, some of the, social media announcements. I was kind of curious too. I thought, what is this all about? And you know, people were talking about it. There's a big buzz around it, right? Because the arrows are part of it, and so I kind of knew at some point, a couple people that I know were kind of working behind the scenes, and I ended up getting a phone call from one of them, Landon, and he talked to me about it and talked to me about the vision. And he thought that, given my background and my experience, the fact that I'm a woman, even though it's not, so much involved with the box lacrosse side, but I could bring a different perspective with diversity and inclusion. My background's also in hospitality, not only just lacrosse, so he felt like those two together could really help contribute to the Leadership Circle of Excellence. I honestly, when we were talking about it, and there's people on our side that really didn't agree with it, because everything's like the man cut, the mental cut. If you grew up in that era and grew up in box lacrosse, that's what as a young kid what you want. And I've been around the game my whole life, and I always hear, you know, the men in my family, friends, my husband. That's all they talked about. So, I knew of it, and I thought the TLL, that so there's no more mental club, or whatnot. And I just thought, man, they must have some kind of vision to do something different, And the more I dug into it, the more I thought, this is really cool because it's aligning more along the lines with the NLL, which, is something that would help basically prepare the young men to enter that league at that level. And nothing against, what they're currently doing, but it's new and it's changed, right? So, right now in this era, like, you had to be ready for change. I mean, all of us, had that forced upon us in this last year, and you had to go with it. So I felt like with the TLL, there was some vision, some clear vision that it was something new, different. It was trailblazing, and it has a potential to go beyond, Ontario borders and nationally. And I feel like the creativity and the input that's getting discussed in meetings and about, it's really exciting. And I think that's really is what's appealing to me. Everybody has an open mind. They're willing to try to discuss new things, not do everything just the way it used to be. Just do everything, a class act, first class, all the way. And it's more than just a game. They're thinking about the players, player centric, which I really love that idea too. But also, really thinking about the diversity inclusion part, which I think is something that's definitely needed during this time. I was really impressed with, you know, looking outside the box on things, not being just your standard type of league. Really looking at networking and getting a lot more people involved. And, right now, where things were at, it was really community based, but they even got away from that, if I could add somewhat, bringing in players cross boundaries and things like that. I think the TLL has the opportunity to, reach out to new communities and build, their programs up from there, and get back to the community-based type stuff, but also of course giving back to your local communities, but also bringing the talent. You want to showcase the talent, you know that's in the community, but abroad, I feel like I was really impressed with their vision to do different things in different ways. It was, and I'm new to this whole thing, and I feel like I'm learning so much. I take so many notes because it's kind of like fascinating to me. Um, but I really like the way, I was thinking at first, it is like being in a locker room full of men, right? And hearing their ideas. It's not like that. It's really kind of, you know, it's really, they're passionate. Everyone's passionate about the game. And I could sense that right from the get go, and even, the fact that, you know, um, we have Ted involved now, even though, he's more of the hockey line, he's still passionate about the same type of vision, as it relates to lacrosse. So, I mean, everyone just wants to help. Everyone wants to just make it a bigger, better league, make it more player centric. Give the kids what they want, and I think that's really speaks to what I like to see. Because I can honestly feel, you know, that everyone really wants this to be the next big thing, and I think it can be that. I think, for the most part, I think the good thing with my background and being on a women's side also is, I think I'm really good at one of the good things that I am good at collaboration, but I am pretty good at pulling the pieces together, um, you know, doing things, more efficiently. Um, so to speak. You may have an idea here, an idea there, but I think I have a good handle on how to bring the two together and then, really help, you know, say, well, this is what we should do, or have you thought about this? Um, just to make things easier. Because to me, it's like I've been in the background, I've been in, you know, a workplace where people are doing double duties, people are trying to reinvent the wheel, and sometimes don't need to be reinvented, and things like that. Like, let's see what works, um go with what works, make it better, and then if it doesn't work, it's not a good idea, it doesn't sound like it's feasible, then we change it up and we go a different direction. So I feel like using some of the project management that I've done in my job has really helped contribute. Like, I totally get when we're talking about a strategic plan, how that works. So I really feel that I can contribute to that area as well. Um, so I really get how we all have to work together. Certain tasks have to get done during certain time periods. Certain people gotta be designated to do those things, but as long as everyone works together and does their part, that's it's a win-win for everybody. I think it's huge. It's like lacrosse is the fastest growing sport, big time, right? It really, especially on a state side. I think that what this league could do is it can bridge the box with the field on the US side. I really believe in that. I believe it can bridge the two together, because everyone admires, Canadian box lacrosse because, they're finishers, soft hands, great hands, and those kinds of things. They know how to, you know, be quick in close quarter play. And then you have the field aspect, which, is mostly dominant on the state side. And, that's all speed and, whatnot. But as you can see, as we move towards, the big vision, is the Olympics. And what in the Olympics stage, what they are talking about is like a 6v6 type play in a shorter field. So what does that tell you? That's basically boxing an outdoor field. That's the way I look at it. It's a faster playing game. I saw an exhibition of one, and it was like, wow, it was really cool to watch. So much faster. Smaller roster, of course, but that's what you gotta have. But I feel like what this league can do is help bridge that together. Can help bridge, the feeling of the box in the field. Also, I think what it can also do, but is by bringing, breaking down the borders and bringing, them together in this league. But I also feel that, it does help prepare these young men for the NLL. And the fact that it's player centric, I think we have the personnel that is on this team that can offer development plan. This is, hey, this is where you need to be. You're here. This is where you need to be. But here, this is how you get there. So it'll help develop players who either want to go to the NLL or go the field route. But ultimately, when you think about the future, the Olympic play for lacrosse, it is that 66 and on the field. So I think the TLL has an opportunity to actually bridge those two games together in a sense where the TLL is so new, it's ready to expand, it's ready to do new things because the game is growing. I mean, it's constantly evolving, and at the world stage, that's what it's going to look like. We don't have nothing to say about it. We just have to, try to play within that. But I really think the TLL is the stepping stone to that. This league is something where you constantly got to keep up with the changes because it's constantly evolving. So there's a lot more, people who have to work behind the scenes and work together to make it better and better each year, and not just stay in that same old box because it is evolving. And if we don't evolve with it, the game's going to leave us behind.